morning, and my name is by saying that it's an absolute pleasure to see all of you here this morning to attend DC Dialogue 2010. Uh, Before I get into the program details, I just thought I must give a brief history of DC Dialogue. My colleague Frederick and I started DC Dialogue in 2007 in Dubai, and to begin with, it was a very low-key affair. We had 10 people in the room discussing and deliberating on the topic operations and maintenance aspects of district cooling. And the discussion was very well, it was fantastic, and we had 4 hours of discussion on this topic, and lots of ideas were exchanged. At times the discussion was quite heated. Testimony would come from George, who's here, and from Ken, and Mr. Rabusa, who was also part of that inaugural DC Dialogue. The topics for today are there are 3 topics. First one is contracting challenges, exploring new avenues for profitability. Second one is legal and arbitration issues in district cooling. And the third topic is metering and billing challenges in district cooling. Without further ado, I would like to excuse me, it is my duty and a privilege to thank the sponsors for this event. The gold sponsor is Teshem, and the silver sponsors are Landis & Gear and Campstud.
As you are all aware, these definitely are challenging times for the district cooling industry. It's also challenging time for other business, other construction business. But the point is that district cooling is a very highly specialized business, so the challenges are unique to this business. Now, as you have seen just now, we have on this table, around this table, specialists from different stakeholders of the district cooling business, including contractors, consultants, and owners also. So I am sure that this audience wants to get and extract as much as possible from this discussion about some of the strategic decisions that the district cooling industry has to take to survive, to grow, and go into new. Let me start with Ken, who is a consultant, and we will ask him to tell us what are his expectations, especially with respect to the contractors in district cooling business. Have they changed during the recession, or they are the same as before?
Obviously, things are a lot tighter. I believe contractors are having a very rough time right now. I believe the owners and developers are having a very rough time in getting the developers to fit up buildings on their plots. District cooling is driven really by on the financial side. For district cooling companies to get finance these days is very, very difficult. And for district cooling companies to pre-qualify for finance, they have to have a robust business model. And in my opinion, that business model is failing. We're seeing the large companies having serious problems, even setbacks on jobs they committed to because the offtake is not there. And to me, there's got to be a solution for district cooling which would gear the assets that have to be purchased and systems put into the ground to the revenue return to pay back the debt that's been provided. So, in my opinion, also the way we started district cooling, I think we should take a breath and perhaps look back and think, would we have done it the same way today? And I'll tell you, I would say no. I think the approach today would be a lot different to what has happened in the past. That's where it is. And contractors are geared up for this type of business. They put a lot of effort into developing. I think it was in a mad headlong rush. Now we're taking a breather, and contractors have some good value-added engineering proposals that have come to the fore to have a solution. So, my take on the industry right now.
One of the points I would reiterate on that Ken mentioned is value engineering. The market simply has changed. It did not die. Things are slightly different now. We've seen an we are even part of that. Companies diversifying and expanding. It's no longer a single company only doing district cooling. Companies are now getting into MEP, power, motor, renewable energy, industrial solutions, etc. As long as you have the right caliber to do that, which is the right engineering and execution teams. Value engineering is key, but the main challenge I believe contractors all over are facing now is securing payments from clients. Either for current projects that suddenly developers discover, oops, we don't need all that, or even new projects. Again, it goes back to what Ken mentioned, that they themselves, it's difficult for them to secure finance.
Well, I would raise a point on the value engineering. I don't think there is not many areas of VE in district cooling. There is probably new systems, new processes, but value engineering is very limited. It's not rocket science. It needs specialist engineering capabilities, but it's not something new. This is one thing I would say. So it needs more efforts into innovations and other things, not value engineering. The second point is the contractors are facing now actually into the pricing structure of the district cooling plants, because the developers and clients, utility providers, are phasing out the projects for a very long period. We're talking about to do 50,000-60,000 tons for in a duration of 5 years, and they expect the contractor to maintain his price and to affirm his price for the duration of the 5 years. Install 10,000 tons a year with the infrastructure and maintain the whole lot, which is becoming very difficult, and we have been faced with developers are not willing to listen to the inflation clauses and to the escalation clauses, the protection for the contractors. It has to be a win-win situation.
District cooling, like any other trade, it's really follow the development. I can't say fortunately or unfortunately, district cooling is being built now only for the new development. Existing one, we haven't seen any project that is looking for the existing one, very rarely. Most of the project is following new development. The moment now new development is being slowed down, we found immediately that district cooling started to slow down. The challenging now for the existing jobs and for the new development. Existing job, as we know all of us, and this is a lesson we learned, that sometimes it was the loading capacity of the plant room does not match the existing actual demand. Now I think it start to come back again, everybody to think again and recalculate the actual demand compared to what has been built and what we're going to plan. I think now owners as well as the developers are very prudent and very careful now in sizing the plant room, which is good. Everybody start to be aware now. The expectation is more reasonable will be, and the lesson in the past, we just put the plant room and without really concentrate on the actual load, it has been there now. I think what happened, from one side, yes, slowdown is not good for everybody, but it's giving a break to everybody to reconsider what is the actual plan and how we are going to move from there. I think this is the challenge.
Apart from the challenges which are sharing, the types of challenges which we are going through is one is definitely plants not getting commissioned on time, plants being mothballed, and which has got its own legal problems, and distributed cooling, phasing out of district cooling plants, similar challenge, and keeping people abreast with the technology, especially colleagues and employees, retaining the talent pool and collecting all that knowledge is also a challenge in this industry, which we try to conduct regular technical workshops within ourselves. Apart from that, I think not having enough power and getting the plants commissioned, this is also an issue which we are facing.
With all the points addressed by our colleagues, I can only add a little bit. It's the optimization of the plant usage. one of the six syndrome, like low delta T, is one of the main causes. The whole finance model is upside down, where we are supposed to control with certain rate or certain kilowatt per ton. It is being exceeded, and a portion of the total plant is being utilized. Say, if there is a 50,000 ton plant, hardly 30,000 can be utilized because of these syndromes. We need to address these issues, overcome, and try to minimize the what you call additional investment